You're listening to this episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. It would greatly benefit the show.
Oh yeah, we're talking about mother now.
Mother. Yeah.
We have a whole movie to talk
We
about.
should do it. Since we always do it in unison, let's do it in unison.
It's on one, right? 3, 2, 1.
Can I grab a different drink before we do this?
No, you want to do it with us?
Yeah, I want to do it with you. I'm not going to drink it yet, but I want to open it because it's fun.
We're keeping this in. Did you? Okay, we're gonna talk about you watching Mother. Well,
me watching Mother.
Yeah, tell us, where were you sitting? Did you watch it on the TV or did you watch it on your computer?
I watched it on my computer.
Did you speed it up?
Speed it up? No.
Why would you speed it up?
I speed movies up all the time.
Just
so everyone knows, the last episode that came out, I watched all of that Netflix series on 1.5. We barely talked about it in that episode. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Clip this. I'm sorry if you watched that segment. You're not watching it for that. You're watching it for the cast.
Books and podcasts, but
yeah, totally.
I have not. I have sped up at least one show. Anyways, all right.
Apple got me into it. Wait.
Will you
3, 2. Wait, are we doing on one?
On one.
3,
I'm going on
2,
your one.
3, 2, 1. Okay.
Oh, that's
that was
close
better.
enough. Yeah. That was closer.
Wait, you gotta cover it so that they don't. Oh, never mind. I see. I don't want to rush you. It's
I don't think is that sitting at the table? Do you remember?
I don't actually care. I just I like having dumb business in the show.
For part 2, you mean? When we'd shoot this out of order that no one knows about? No one knows that we shoot it out of order.
No, I mean, I don't think the table was seen in the camera anyways, right? Yes, I think you're fine to leave it on the table.
It annoys Kirk, and that's
what?
Why I
How does it annoy me?
He doesn't like when I
just spread everything around.
When I break the fourth wall on the show, and No,
it's part of my bit to give you crap each time you.
Is that how you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
No,
feel better about it
your
now.
characters.
Yeah. Come on. Hello and welcome to Movie Baiters with the Farx brothers. I'm Kirk.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Nick.
Look in the camera when you do it.
He's in the frame.
I don't want to see myself.
And we're joined by Alex Rumsey. We're going to be talking about Mother, non-spoilers.
Wait, we have to make sure that people understand that Alex Rumsey is an upper Midwest, can we just say filmmaker? You
yes,
make movies?
That's fine. Yeah,
okay.
sure.
I don't even like saying film. I like saying movie maker because I feel filmmaker is too bougie. Why did you select the movie Mother? Mother.
Oh, and now I gotta tell you. Sorry. Because I am making a short film with Ella Thompson that's going to be in the thriller suspense genre, and I don't watch a lot of horror movies. There's a great podcast I like to listen to where they talk about it. So I've learned about them a lot recently, but I haven't watched a lot. So I figured we should watch a couple for research, basically.
I don't think this is a horror movie. We'll start the bait off hard there.
Horror movie.
Can we do suspense tension movie? It's so anxiety inducing. I left this because it was so. For people just listening, I'm curled up in a tight ball with my shoulders, way up around my.
That's your voiceover audition right there. For those just listening, I'm aware you're just getting my voice right now. And I don't think this is a horror movie, mostly because Mrs. Farx watched the whole thing last night.
And she doesn't watch horror movies?
No, I would watch this movie with my adopted mother, exclamation point, because because of the themes and that sort of thing, and I don't think there's anything that's so uncouth in it that I guess they do say the C word a couple of times.
Well, so the other movie we watched for our research was it was a double feature. We watched Midsummer.
Oh, wow, that's very different.
Mother, which have such interesting overlaps.
Oh.
There's the way it's shot and just kind of the energy you get from it felt like there was really some vibes.
Wait, this is you and Ella?
Me, Ella, and my best friend Jenna. I will say one of my best friends because I don't like to proclaim a certain best friend.
I didn't have a best man in my wedding, I guess.
And
wow, you didn't?
My other very good friend Chrissy, who's one of the DMs I play Dungeons and Dragons with because I'm a nerd.
3, so you 4 ladies?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're getting together. What's the setting? What time of day are you getting together to watch this horror?
It was night. Jenna is obsessed with horror movies.
Okay.
So, and Chrissy also really likes horror, and Chrissy and Jenna will go to the haunted hayride, and I just I'm like, no thanks. So when I told Jenna's been one of my biggest supporters ever, when I said I wanted to do research, I was like, so should we have like a watch party? She's like, yes. So, and then Ella, being my wonderful director, is like, well, can I be there too? And I was like, absolutely. So it was great. So we just had a double feature, and specifically for the research purpose, we did a lot of like pausing and talking and taking notes and discussion around, and it was delightful. It was really great.
This must have taken like 5 hours.
Probably. Yeah.
All right.
It was probably about that.
That's fantastic.
It was great.
I do pause in. Can we debate? Like, are you cool with that?
What?
Pausing the. Yeah, you can.
I love it so much.
No, I believe you. I want to see if I can get an authentic answer out of this one.
If it's the first time watching?
Yeah, it depends if I've seen it.
It really
before.
depends on the movie, and like I don't know. I guess.
Did you have breaks when you watched this, or did you watch it all the way through? Since
it was all the way through.
Damn.
Yeah, we had ads on our viewing.
Oh, yeah, we had ads.
Oh, so here's a question:
ads, yeah.
If you don't want to like pause and talk about things,
Yeah.
how do you feel about people just talking over things while a movie
I
is
guess
going on?
if I had to compare the two, I'd prefer pausing. Yeah, I'd prefer pausing.
Well, sometimes we'll do a Bone Us, which is a commentary where
Yeah.
we
anything.
watch a movie and just
Who comes
like,
up with these names? I did.
Yeah, he thought of that one. The show's a masturbation joke, get it? Movie baiters.
Wow.
Yeah, and there will
thought?
be movie like the first one we did was this is our first time watching this movie, and we're just gonna talk all the way through it. And then we kept doing that with other movies, but it wasn't as like there are denser movies that like a horror movie that doesn't have as much dialogue in a violent nature.
Oh, so you go like talk over.
Yeah,
it
we were doing
yeah.
it to a movie that has like no dialogue, or the dialogue is pointless. It's in a violent nature, and it's just like following a hulking undead serial killer through the woods, like from his point of view.
Yeah.
Ripping people apart, and they're like, there's nothing to like latch on. Like you can talk over that movie. But
We did
some
for
movies-
Terrifier. That was a very good one.
Oh, you guys did that?
Yeah.
Have you seen Terrifier?
I've heard the lovely recap on the Too Scared to Watch podcast.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You can also listen to a Bone Us of it.
Great. I might. That'd be interesting.
Especially when they get to the part that I didn't know was coming.
You did you did one or two? Which one did you do?
I haven't
yeah.
seen 2 or 3. I
Okay.
kind of want to. What's his
I
name?
don't.
The guy Thornton just shot up in Duluth.
David Howard Thornton.
David Howard Thornton just finished a movie.
Are
up
you
in Duluth.
related?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
your third
This is
cousin.
Kyle Farx.
Oh. Don't break the illusion. Yeah.
Kyle Farx. If there is a separate legal entity that is whatever you just said, that's different than Kyle Farx. I don't think this is a horror movie because it's not like... When you say horror movie, what do you think of since you don't like them?
For me, mostly it's the tension, jump scares, gore. You walk away from the film feeling a little like gross. Like I Am Legend, I know is not like a horror, but it's thriller. So I think Mother is much closer to the thriller side of things. But thriller even involves like maybe a little bit more like monsters, I suppose, which is why I think it's like suspense. But it's not like suspense drama.
Yeah.
Like there's some like horrific things that happen in Mother. It's a loose genre. I don't know. I agree with you that it's not like a slasher film, but there's subcategories. But
Of horror, I
it would
guess,
be
yeah.
like. Do you think Midsummer is a horror?
Almost no, but...
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like...
There's plenty of gore in the movie. I think that's
it's
definitely horror.
It exists in this plane of elevated horror to me, where it's like it's too good of them. I don't pejoratively use the word horror, but I'm aware that the word has pejorative connotations in lots of different populations, so I avoid using it for things that I really like. I see you nodding.
Well, yeah, but the question that came up in my head when you said it's not a horror movie because
Mrs. Farx.
watched it. Like what? It depends on what.
Mrs. Farx.
Yeah. Okay. What does she not like about horror movies? Like what like when she says I don't want to watch a horror movie, what is she talking about?
She's talking about The Nun 2, which I have on 4K, and
I don't even
just
Like jump scares.
But that's
and,
because
yeah.
you're a jerk. I watched The Nun with you.
I am
See,
a jerk.
We
I
should.
fell asleep,
You did.
so I'm like
You were
I'm
in
not
a weird
gonna.
chair, and I'm not saying you
weird
had any
chair.
libations, but he was in like a hardback, like a dining room chair.
Oh, how did you fall asleep in that chair?
Oh,
That
It was,
Yeah,
sounds
really
it was
uncomfortable, yeah.
surprising, actually.
So is it scare like because it could be like the gore? Those
The
aren't really
scare.
that jump
the like
scares.
intense to jump scare.
Yeah. So if her main aversion to horror movies is like jump scares, and this is not a jump scare movie, and neither is like Midsommar.
Saw have jump scares? Because I think that's a pretty
That's a
universally
torture
like
porn,
accepted like horror category though,
You see,
right?
even it like so horror's the house. Saw's in the basement because it's torture porn. It goes
Terrifier,
beyond
yeah.
slasher.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm not looking down on Terrifier. I'm not looking down
looking down
on
on you.
Saw.
I'm just like,
I've seen them.
yeah.
But I want to put like I wouldn't recommend them to my mother. I got my father in the right level of inebriation. I might try to like
To watch
pop
what
that on
movie?
him. Maybe Terrifier 2? I don't know.
Dang,
Which one
alright.
takes place at Christmas? 3?
3 is
Three,
Christmas.
yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, have you seen it?
I saw the opening scene
And you couldn't do it?
when he like blows up a.
Can we bone us 2 and 3?
Fine, I'll watch it for that maybe, but
Boy.
I don't want to do both of them. I can't do both of them. They're so long. They're so long for cheesy slasher movies. They're over 2 hours long.
When you're at
The Terrifier movie, the sequels are.
I 100% agree.
Like, that's-
it's 2 and 2.5. When you're at the Thanksgiving or the partners Thanksgiving on Friday, how would you summarize this movie at that Thanksgiving table? Like, oh, have you heard of the movie Mother? It came out 8 years ago. How would you
How would you recommend this movie to other people?
not recommend, but like describe it in a way as to not spoil it,
Oh.
but like so that's if they were interested they could watch it because you don't know who would maybe be inspired by this.
That's a hard thing because I literally heard someone else, I'm sure on a podcast, say like Mother was one of the most interesting thriller horrors they've ever seen. Knowing I was going to do this research with Jenna and Chrissy and Ella, and just like kind of arbitrarily picked it. I don't think Chrissy and Ella and I had never seen Mother. So I went into it knowing nothing.
That's why you messaged me. You messaged me like, have you ever done that movie? I want to come on the show and talk about it.
It's just so interesting. So but I was sitting in, like, movie starts. Jenna, amazing human being who's so intellectually, like, insightful on, like, people's, like, characters and stuff like that. We're like, and she watches a lot of horror, as I said. She's like, oh, so, like, when I watched this in the theater with my husband, like, we were, like, 5 minutes in, and I saw this thing where I was like, oh, my gosh, is this, like, a symbolism or allegory? And she like watches like a little bit more. She's like, oh yeah, there it is. So I watched the entire movie and we talked throughout it, as we said. And she'd be like, do you guys have you picked up on it yet? And all of us are like, no. And I was watching the whole thing like just like on the edge of my seat or curled up in a little ball and did not pick up on the thing. So I don't even know how, now that I've like finished watching it and know like the thing, I don't know how to describe it without the spoiler.
So this movie was marketed as a home invasion movie starring J-Law. And
Okay.
like, oh, it's from Academy Award nominated director Darren Aronofsky, who's made some effed up S. Because Pi and Requiem for a Dream, do you have those as references in your...
I've heard of Requiem for a Dream.
Cool. You've seen Black Swan?
I know Black Swan.
Okay, I could see how that might
Like I've
have
seen like clips from both probably, and the
right.
music from Requiem for a Dream. That one really good song.
As an actor,
Yes.
I would strongly recommend Black Swan,
Mm-hmm.
only because the like idea of like performers and like being replaced and like what's replaceable and then talent and all of these things. I love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I love a lot of his later work, except The Whale.
The Whale, yeah, you can't watch
Oh, he made The Whale?
He made The Whale.
I've not
right.
seen it.
He made The Whale right after this, and before this,
After-
he made Noah, where it has fallen angels as rock monsters. Have you seen Noah?
No.
Fascinating
guy.
filmography he has. Goodness. Wow. Interesting.
Okay,
Interesting.
so you this is I understand that I'm in the annoying set of people who looks at the director and then the cinematographer and makes like, oh, has he worked with this guy a couple of times? Is he a regular guy? You know, and Darren Aronofsky is someone that's very interesting. How did you feel about the cinematographic quality? And did you pick up on what color was most relevant, Nick?
You're asking me.
Yeah.
I liked the cinematography. I liked the look of it. I'm not one of those who can like dissect and all the colors. And that's why I don't call myself a cinematographer, because there are guys who can go on and on about color.
But color is also like editor.
Oh, like in post, some posts. Like, I mean, unless they.
I don't think talking about a thing makes you master of the thing. Like, one can be a master without the talking component.
I am just like, I can say I liked it or I didn't like it, or like, I can't talk as in depth like what Roger Deakins would go into like 4 hours.
He has a podcast with his wife.
Yeah, see, I'm never gonna have a podcast about that because I wouldn't have enough to talk about. I just said, I liked it. No, I didn't.
Did you wear the yellow shirt on purpose?
Oh, because that was the primary color.
Is that the primary color? It did feel have like kind of like a glow about it, unless you're talking about her like vial that has the golden powder in it.
So you noticed it in multiple places.
Well, now that you're like asking, yes, this is all part of the. This is all me doing like, I'm trying to like match the vibe. No.
Okay. Sorry. I don't want to screw up the joke you're making.
No, I'm done.
Can either of you summarize the movie? I said
without
home invasion
it?
movie. Yeah, like it's a home invasion.
Well, now
movie.
you said home invasion. So husband and wife live in a house. Uninvited guests show up. Husband is overly generous and kind to them. Wife really wants them to leave. They don't. It gets really chaotic and upsetting, and dips into the surreal, and it's all a big allegory for a spoiler. If you consider that a spoiler.
Okay,
is that considered a spoiler?
I think
it would be.
Yeah, okay, so I had planned to talk about what it was an allegory for in the non-spoiler section. I have decided as part of this conversation to not talk about it. Because I don't
think we should.
Yeah. And this is the movie that you're always told to make for your first movie. People in a house. You can control one location.
Yeah.
And then...
Still life.
One of your part of your oeuvre of movies you have created, not just as an actor performer, but as a writer, right? Or story
writer, which had no like dialogue.
I know there wasn't
so yeah.
a script, but anyways, Kirk compared this to like he was thinking Terrence Malick. What is your?
Oh, Tree of Life. Yeah, the guy who made Tree of Life. Where I know his other movies. They're real long, slow burns. They're really melancholic. They're about life in general. Yeah.
Okay, but that makes it. Yeah. That feels like a slice of life, and I think Mother is like. It's a little confusingly slow, but then it gets so chaotically fast-paced.
Yeah, a little bit later.
I don't. Okay. So one of the other things that you can discuss about the movie, because I want to keep it fast-paced without talking about it. Do you see an environmentalism message in the movie? Potentially. There's a debate on whether or not, and that doesn't spoil the allegory we're saving for later.
Well, I mean, technically, J-Law has a quote about it too. I read her quote about it. That could spoil the movie.
Well, so there's a debate around this movie, and I can talk about this metatextually without having to spoil anything about the movie. The director was dating the star of the movie at the time. Which,
the director was?
Yeah, and knowing that, does that kind of pervert it in a certain way for you? Like, do you see it in a, like, that kind of makes the relationship of the movie... Because there's a question about, is this movie fetishizing misogyny, or is it realistically showing how, like, women's labor is erased in, real time, kind of?
I think it's definitely the second one. I mean, also... We don't know when he started writing it and when they actually started dating, right? I mean,
but they were dating during the production of this.
The director...
But he had been writing for years. Yeah,
correct. Darren Aronofsky was... And there was also an age difference because he would have been in his late 40s and she would have been... 30-something. Yeah. So like a 15-plus year age difference. Yeah, I know. That really changes things because Javier Bardem's older than J-Law.
He would have casted himself then, don't you think?
He's not the kind of director.
I know, but... If it was really about that, if he wanted to really make it about...
Allen doesn't even always cast himself to play himself in his movies.
She would have been like 27, actually, when I think about it. So that's quite
I'm not
20-year
keeping track of her age exactly. She's like kind of my age. And I just know that like when I think like in my 30s, a 48-year-old woman would not have wanted to... I mean, maybe, I don't know. But like... I wouldn't have emotionally been in the same place as her, but like men and women are different.
Sorry, Saoirse and Gavroche, they are playing. It doesn't look like they are. I'm sure that's on camera because of the way that's being caught.
Yeah.
They are just playing. But that was a very loud tussle that we were having, so I'm sorry. Saoirse is my cat.
Saoirse, like inertia?
Well, like the
Irish.
Saoirse
I
Ronan.
didn't name her first Saoirse Ronan, but it is pronounced like Saoirse,
Same
yes.
name.
It means freedom.
Nice.
She is the thing I did, well, one of the first things I did after I left my abusive marriage.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't like cats. I got a cat.
Yeah,
Saoirse means freedom, so she was like my act of rebellion.
It's pretty
which is pretty cool. So
Guys, be cool to cats and dogs.
this is true. This is true.
I can say it, I'm married, fuck you.
My ex also didn't like
Fuck
small
somebody?
dogs, so you know.
Wow, that's a different message.
It's, well, I mean, consensually and with their,
Consent.
earn it, is what I'm saying.
Earn it.
Sorry.
Date them.
Okay,
talking about
back
dogs.
to
Your
the
dog
age
and
difference and the message about women's labors. Jennifer Lawrence is clearly the protagonist of Mother, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Or is Javier Bardem, maybe, because we start with
I
him.
feel like he's the antagonist. I feel like he's the bad guy in this
He's the
movie.
one
Maybe
who's
she's the
Yeah.
antagonist.
Wow.
Women. I think it's hard to watch Mother and not it's hard because he is kind and loving, but is so dismissive of her concerns and wants that I think, wow, we can dive back to domestic violence here.
I was about to ask about that. Cool.
If someone is blatantly ignoring a request of you telling someone that what they're doing is making you feel hurt or sad or scared or in pain or whatever, and someone apologizes for it and says, no, I didn't mean it that way, but you keep saying it still hurts, and they keep doing the thing. At some point, that is unloving to keep doing the thing that's hurting the person. So I think the man, right? He's just called the man, right?
Him.
Him.
It's
At least him.
Capital H-I-M.
Yes, him. Because the other couple, the man and the woman
Man
are
and
the
woman.
people who
Yeah,
come
man
in.
and
Ed
woman.
Harris and Michelle Pfeiffer are
Yes.
in this movie.
Him and her, yes. So him becomes unloving and unkind because he is ignoring her pain, and I think that it's so tricky because knowing the allegory of the film, that's a strong statement to say.
Yeah, because I could come back with, well, maybe he wasn't we're seeing it from her perspective. So if in a Rashomon of seeing his perspective, and I hate being the guy arguing against domestic violence things,
Yeah,
but
you wanna
here
go
I
there?
am again.
Yes, please tell me how he's not being abusive lover.
Please, if you're wondering, stick around for spoilers so we can continue this piece. But he's being loving and caring of humanity, and his love of humanity makes him is his flaw in his relationship to Mother.
Yeah, well, it's the greater good
Mother.
question of, sacrifice needs to be made, and
The greater good.
the train scenario of, are you going to swerve the
The
train?
trolley dilemma?
Yeah, that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So one could argue that him is making the trolley dilemma choice of saving humanity versus her.
Which would you do? Would you let more people die by doing nothing, or would you actively kill someone?
Oh,
In the trolley dilemma, it's a debate show.
Do you know the person that you're avoiding?
I don't think you get to know the identities of anyone beforehand.
I feel like I've
you
seen
don't
the
even get
trolley.
to know demographic data. Although this is the kind
the
of
trolley
thing
thing is you're killing one person or 3 people or 5 people. I mean, you're killing people you don't know anyways.
Well,
in the trolley
it's do you care about the absolute of more people will die if you do nothing, but if you do something, people will die, and it will be by
Your choice of doing it.
Yeah. Yes.
But I also think in the evangelical Christian world, this same trolley dilemma is put to the idea of the conductor of the train trolley is a father of the son who's on the track. So then you get the whole God, Jesus ideal, who's saving humanity by sacrificing
God
his
asked
son.
Abraham to kill Ishmael, or was it not Ishmael? Isaiah? Is it? God asks Abraham to kill his son, and he's
Jacob,
going to do
I
it.
should know this.
Yeah, it's Old Testament stuff. Do you know what we're talking about? See, and
No.
Isaiah? Wow, I really should know this.
yeah, but God, and he's going in the Old Testament. He's going to do it, and then God stops him, and that's the point of that story. And I've heard it interpreted many ways over the years of going to different churches in different states, and I don't know. What do you feel about? Have you heard that story before? God asks in the Old Testament.
I need to.
Abraham.
I don't know. Dude, is it Isaiah?
Yeah, the Bible stuff
Isaac.
is.
It's Isaac.
It's Isaac. Okay, I knew it was an I name. Ian.
Ian.
Have you heard of this story?
Yeah, I've
before?
heard of it. I
Okay.
thought somebody does get killed though, or does he actually stop him?
God provides a lamb
Oh.
for Abraham to sacrifice instead, which is the signifier of the sacrificial lamb, which then becomes Jesus later. So,
interesting.
but yes, Isaac is his son.
Because Jesus is the lamb. See, that's maybe the converse of the argument too. In Wicked, that'd be some bullshit.
Wicked?
Because the animals are equal.
Yeah,
to
no,
humans.
that's not. That's
What's
not
capital
good.
A animal and the lowercase a animal, right?
Oh,
Is it a
Like in
difference?
Narnia,
Yeah.
the animals that can talk and
Yeah.
not talk.
And Arthur, like how
Arthur?
Arthur has a dog.
I mean, so does Mickey
Oh my
Mouse.
gosh.
Mickey Mouse is a dog.
See, this does relate to Mother. It's just, if you've seen the movie, you know what we're talking about. And if you haven't... okay, so I think it was helpful to talk, and I'm going to pivot back to your... I'm curious about recognizing domestic violence, because you've said to me that 1 in 4 women will experience domestic violence. So when you say it's... And let me see if I heard you correctly. It's someone saying, please stop doing this action, kind of like the trolley problem. And the other person's like, oh, but I don't mean it that way. And they keep doing it. That's a form of emotional abuse, because one person could choose to stop to doing the thing that is hurting the other person. And
Yeah.
is there something like that you specifically saw in Mother?
Mother?
Yeah. Like, how would you describe that thing that is done?
Well, this operates on a spectrum, but I think what I saw in Mother that is the thing that makes you feel so uncomfortable when you're watching it is she clearly does not want uninvited guests to show up at the house. And he keeps saying like, no, they're fine. They keep doing that thing. And the guests keep like violating the boundaries. And she keeps setting boundaries, and the guests keep pushing in, and he does not stop it, and then invites more people in and more people in. And so she is expressing such distress over this, and he just blatantly ignores it and pushes past. So to me, watching it, I was like, no, that it feels so like gross and makes you feel claustrophobic, or made me feel claustrophobic. So, which I think is also done in the way it's filmed, where it's like so tight on her face all the time. The cinematography is claustrophobic on purpose, which I thought was just like brilliant. I really like that part.
Yeah, they're on a steady cam, and a woman walking around a room all of a sudden with just a couple people in it seems really big. Would you agree that cinematographically that is?
Oh, the house seems ginormous.
Yeah.
I guess the emotion seems big. Whereas
That too.
if you just set a camera up in the side of the room and we're recording the same
yeah.
thing, it wouldn't have the same impact as like... It's like in movies, sometimes they don't do this, but it's kind of like that, where it's like the actor has it attached to them and they're running,
Oh, yeah.
and it's all shaky, but it's not exactly like that.
Yeah.
It feels like that because of how they're shooting what is a pretty simple scene. It's just someone walking around a room.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought it was also interesting that I feel like a lot of it, because we're following her perspective, is like you see the back of her head from a lot of it too. Sometimes we see her face and reactions, but even just the dysphoria of following someone through where you can't see the whole frame, and we're not even seeing her face. Oh, it's just like fascinating. I just really liked it.
Yeah, you agree, Nick?
Yeah, no, I thought it was effective. Yeah.
What's something you didn't like about this movie? Because I'm kind of
Didn't like?
surprised that I wish I would have tried to push it on you earlier in my... but you kind of don't know Darren Aronofsky, right? You're not like...
I can't think of like a single... I don't know if I've seen any. This might be the first of his movies I've seen all the way through.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so like I'm not like I'm not like an anti Darren Aronofsky. I haven't seen enough to be a fan.
The Fighter? You're
I've not
Oh, he
seen The
did that?
Fighter.
Oh.
Was it?
Or maybe he produced it.
No, I think he
directed
the
it
Mickey
too.
Rourke one, right? The Wrestler.
Oh, The Wrestler. But then...
The
he
Fighter
also-
was something else, I
I
think.
think he's produced a lot of... Like, he also produced Jackie, which I did not like. Have you seen the movie Jackie?
Nope.
Where it's about, like, the moments right after JFK has been killed from the perspective of Jackie Onassis. And that same director made a movie about Princess Diana where Kristen Stewart played her, and I didn't like that. And that's a similar movie. This the Princess Diana movie where she goes like for Christmas with her husband who's like cheating on her with Camilla by this point, and she still has to show up to Christmas, and it's like just a Christmas movie. I watched it at Christmas with my mom, and she did not like it because at one point, Princess Diana says she's going to do something sexual to herself to get a security person to leave. And we still watch the whole movie, but
Your mom didn't like that part.
no, that's
fair.
We watched it at Christmas, so it's like I also associate it with the holidays. And it's like around the holidays. I hope you're watching this with your family, your kids, right now. Looking in the camera for that. When you feel uncomfortable and gross in the movie, do you associate that she's like violence is going to happen to her in as part of that?
I mean, violence does happen to her later in the movie.
Yeah, but I think that's we don't want to talk about the end.
I mean, but that's part of the whole story. They keep pushing the boundaries, though. That's what Alex is talking about, and then eventually it erupts into this violent act.
Well, that's kind of the thing with like emotional abuse is that is emotional abuse bad because it always bleeds over into physical violence? Well, because it's hard to regulate for emotional abuse.
Statistics do show that like if abusive relationships go on, like it almost always does go to the physical violence, which is frustrating and upsetting. But I think that's an interesting point that I don't think for the first, half of the movie, even though violent things are happening around her,
a lot of things break. And it's like that's the way it's shot and the way like the sound design is. It's supposed to be upsetting.
Yeah, but I don't think I was scared that someone was like going to haul off and like punch her or something. It just... No, I don't think I was scared for that. It was more the emotional toll of the situation. Did you think she was gonna like be hurt earlier?
It's something like yeah, I associate it with a feeling I had when I was watching The Smashing Machine with Emily Blunt and Dwayne Johnson. Is like they had like extremely emotionally abusive scenes. But it's like, who's the bigger abuser? And it's like weird because like The Rock's a big hulking guy, but he's like.
I mean, he did punch through a door one time. I mean, he could get worse.
Was that when he's drinking or after he's trying to be sober? And she's like, I don't support your sobriety.
I think it was the middle of his trying to get sober.
Yeah, he's trying to get like she's sort of undercutting him in this, and I feel like it's relevant because what is emotional abuse and, thinking of it maybe only one way. You didn't describe it in a gendered way. It seems that way because of the example we're talking about with Mother. I don't know. I guess I associate the two things. There's the like abuse, the emotionally abusive scenes in Smashing Machine, and then closely after watching this, and you bring up there's emotional abuse clearly. Well, could it be cast as that because we have to talk about the allegory and if the allegory matters? Here's maybe a different way to approach all this. That's a completely different subject. Dead author theory. Does what the author's intent matter?
Well, he's still alive, isn't he?
No, it doesn't. But it doesn't matter.
Oh, like it's how we perceive art versus the author's intent. Like, does it matter if what we think the movie's about match up with what the author thought it was about? Is that okay if they don't match?
Is that an emotionally abusive relationship that's set up between the author and ourselves? Is like we have to try and understand their intent, or no? It matters how I felt about it. So exactly.
But it
doesn't matter what he meant.
No, that's not, you can't equate those two things.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the same category. Same like question.
An emotional abuse is something directly to harm you. If I'm writing a story, it's just a story that I'm telling you. Is that abusive to you in any way?
You don't think an unhealthy person or a toxic person, or just like even it doesn't matter if the person's good or bad. I don't want to take that out of it. Like you don't think someone could write something that is emotionally abusive to somebody or a group of people?
Would you qualify that as a story though?
It's still a story. Like Birth of a Nation was made, and that's like an emotionally abusive story too.
Well, I don't know what you were meaning by
like
emotionally abusive when it's a book or a story or a movie that someone made that a viewer can walk away from. I think abuse happens in a situation commonly where you feel powerless to make changes. And so reading like American Psycho, I've heard is one of the most upsetting, terrible books ever. I think if you sat down and hated the book and kept reading it, you would be very emotionally unkind to yourself. But the author of American Psycho is not abusing you by you reading his book because that's your choice. Which you could argue that...
Why don't they leave?
Which,
My dad even says, I have to finish it, my adopted father, Farx Brothers. And he is my adopted father. But he would always say, I have to watch a movie to the end. I can't, maybe this will all add up. And my Mrs. Farx, my wife, Mrs. Farx was like, is this going to make sense? And by the end of the movie, she said that it made... there was a preponderance of evidence towards a theme she was willing to think about. She found it upsetting, just like you did.
I feel the compulsion to finish a book that I've started too, but I think that's a different realm of restrictions of when you are in a romantic or domestic situation with someone where financially you can't leave, there are kids, there are pets, that you are in fear of your life if you leave. So I think that's just a separate category. So adding the label of emotional abuse from a book that you're reading complicates it, and putting the emphasis on someone being well, it's your fault for finishing the book, is then saying weird. Someone who's not leaving an abusive relationship, well, it's your fault for not leaving, it simplifies it a little bit too much.
Agreed. The argument I had last time against, where I was kind of arguing against domestic violence, is I was saying that this story is more about economics than domestic violence, and it was actually Barbarian. I can't remember if we had talked about that in the second.
No, it was weapons.
No, it was on the weapons episode referring to the movie Barbarian.
Uh-huh.
But the thing I was making a point of is that white flight and gentrification, which are two sides of the same coin, can lead to immiserating people financially, and that causes more abuse. We know if people are financially immiserated, then we should do whatever we can as public policy to avoid that for a larger population, because we are protecting people physically by doing so.
Yeah, but they have a huge house. I don't think this movie has anything to do with economics. I think they're fine.
I'm just drawing a tie between how I was talking about this before, and I honestly can't even remember. Well, the reason I'm arguing against it being a domestic violent relationship in this story is due to the allegory, which I can't say at this point. But in the other point before, it was part of the thing that I think people try to do that pisses me off is, well, it's this person or this person because that's all I see in this situation. Whereas people as outside observers,
know when someone's being emotionally abusive. It's not black and white. You know it.
Yes, and it shouldn't happen. But if we could, most couples fight over money. So the more we can alleviate economic strife in the world, we are helping more couples be fulsome, theoretically.
I think that's just giving people who are emotionally abusive an excuse, a crutch to use. Oh, it's because of the economy. Well, that's why I'm a shitty person.
Some people just uniquely evil, or do people become evil? Is also
I think you are just uniquely evil.
Wait.
Are people just born evil, or do they become evil? Is that the question?
It's the question of wicked. Is evil thrust upon them, or are people just born with evil inside of them?
Well, that depends on your definition of evil.
Sure. What's your definition of evil? I think emotional abuse we all see as evil.
Well, the really sucky part after doing a lot of therapy is that most people are doing the best they can with the tools that they have at the moment. So everyone is trying to protect themselves from what they view as life-threatening hurt, whether it's real or not, but their psyche feels like it's life-threatening situations. So someone who kills someone else has a part of them that feels like if this person is allowed to live, then that means that they would have to die or something. I'm not explaining this very well. Let me back up.
I had a relational metaphor, if that would help. Or
Go for it.
The relational metaphor in the complete opposite direction, because you're talking about killing and bad stuff. I kind of relate it to religion. Carl Jung would say that he doesn't know whether or not there's a God. He just knows that people that believe there's a God live a happier, healthy life in what he can observe of the data. Live longer, live healthier, have social ties that make them feel happy in their lives. And so, if you believe something, I think that's part of the problem. Or people do things because they believe them in good and bad directions. And some of it might not even be whether or not the thing is real. Whether or not the economic argument I'm making is real or not, or can be proved. Duh.
I think I get what you're saying. I think my thought was a little bit tangential of if people are evil or not. Is people can act in ways that seem really evil to other people, but justified to yourself. Like you could take like a superhero movie. The villain has reasons why he's doing that, and he thinks he's saving humanity or doing the right thing. So I think generally, wow, I don't even know how to like quantify it with like, is evil thrust upon you or evil? Like, I might dare to say that people aren't evil.
I mean, it can also be both, right? I mean, you can't just...
Yeah, everyone is a lot of things, but people can be so overwhelmed by their circumstances and what's happened to them and don't have the coping skills that they act out in evil ways. Maybe I'll like make that statement, which feels far too generous, because I know you can point to like any number of people throughout history who have done horrible, like, you know, Hitler, let's say whoever, like to be like, oh, he wasn't actually that bad of a guy, he just misunderstood. That's not what I'm saying. But he clearly had the thought that he thought he was doing good for people and justified it to himself. And I don't know, it's just complicated. And I say that as being someone who was married to an abusive person who I think was very unkind and horribly harmful and who killed someone, and I can't rationalize that. But yet I know that he had a reason or a psychic break that made him do that. So I don't know. It's complicated.
I didn't know the last part. I'm very sorry that happened to you. And I know that you've done the things to feel, but I'm JD Vance and you're Tim Waltz. Sorry, Tim. What? I didn't know that happened to you. Like, that's where I learned it from.
Okay. Wow.
What a great person to take an interview
hey, that knucklehead's running for a third term. Oh, you meant the other guy who's vice president. Got it. Yes. He won.
What, are you looking at me to end this segment?
Yeah.
Wow, what a weird first segment.
End.
No.
I don't know if this is going to be, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to salvage this.
We're not cutting anything.
This one is some weird meta places.
I think, yeah, because you can't really
hit
talk...
all the points I wanted to, and we're way past time.
Yes, and also we can't really go that more in depth without spoiling the
There's
movie,
so many spoilers to this, so I think, yeah.
Audience backlash was an F. I compare this movie to Robert Zemeckis' Here, which no one saw.
I saw it.
I know.
But
I saw
please, let me end this segment. All right, we'll catch you in our spoilers. Bye-bye.